Welcome to Suite 301. I'm your host, Christian Smith, alongside my new co-host,
Joe Schaefer.
Joe Schaefer. Thank you for joining me today, Joe. It's a pleasure having you beside me.
Excited to be here.
As you know, today, Suite 301 is our behind-the-scenes look of all the Colt Club sports leagues, the NCBA, the NCSA, the NCBVA, what am I missing?
Well, we have three different divisions of the National Club Baseball
Yeah.
Association. We also have a basketball league, a football league, and a softball league.
So we're giving you a behind-the-scenes look at all those different leagues. We'll get to touch on a lot of those leagues today, discuss all kinds of important things. Make sure to tune into our Facebook Live page. We are officially on Facebook on that live page, and you can view all of our broadcasts on our Suite 301 page and our Facebook group pages.
Yeah, and make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Colt Club Sports, for all the videos from around our leagues, as well as if you want to watch previous episodes of Christian doing a magnificent job here at Suite 301. Those are available as well, so make sure you subscribe to that YouTube page.
We got a lot of fun stuff coming up. We got a caller on who's going to come on here shortly, so let's get to it. We have Dave Mogensen, who is the NCFA Director of Awards and Recognitions. That's a pretty nice title there you got, Dave.
Beautiful.
I appreciate it. This is, what is this, my sixth year doing this? So,
Do you get paid well?
What was that?
Do you get paid well?
Oh, I get paid fantastic. I think it only cost me maybe $200 or $300 a year for this role.
Well, thanks, Dave, for being on the show with us. The NCFA season just kicked off, and a lot of games, I believe, were played this past weekend. So just kind of give us a breakdown of what's happening with the league so far this year.
For opening weekend, so we had preseason All-Americans and some of that stuff came out a couple weeks ago, and then we were in a little bit of a waiting game. But season's open. We had a lot of games. We had some scores that really were kind of eye-opening scores, so kind of just run through some of those. The first big eye-opener for me is Eastern Michigan with a big win over Loyola. They won 31-10. So that's a nice way for them to start the season. Last year they didn't have as great of a year in their first year in the league. They finished 1-7. So for them to start out here with a 1-0, pretty exciting for Eastern Michigan fans and for those guys over there. So that was the first score that was like, wow, that's a nice score for them. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No. What other scores you got that happened this past weekend?
So just running down the list of scores, that was a big score for Eastern Michigan. Fort Lauderdale beat Warner University. Columbus State over Haywood Prep 41-6. Another score that was really interesting. So Middle Georgia State went out and played varsity for a Division III powerhouse, UW Whitewater. So they made the trip up to Wisconsin, played UW Whitewater's varsity. Not the greatest score. It was 73-0. But just the fact that they were in there, they got them scheduled, they played. An NCAA sanctioned game against those guys is saying a lot for where their program is going and things like that. So the score doesn't look good for them, but there's not a team in this league that's going to face better competition than that the whole year.
Well, UW Whitewater, I mean, they are you said a D3 power. I mean, they're like in the D3 national championship just about every year, correct?
Yeah. They've won 7 out of the last 10. They're in a little bit of a down spell for them. They haven't made it in 2 years, but they're still going into the playoffs, and they're really good.
Who'd you say played them? Who played Whitewater?
Middle Georgia State.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so
good for them. Yeah, that's. I mean, the score, so be it. I mean, but just to get a powerhouse like UW Whitewater on the schedule and get to play them is kudos to them. So good for them. That's awesome.
Yeah, so probably really nice atmosphere for them. I know UW Whitewater's always get 7,000-8,000 people plus to a game, so it's probably a really nice experience for their players. And they're not the greatest way to start the season for them, but like I said, they're not going to face anybody better the rest of the year. So
no,
it should be a good ticket zone for them for a good season.
Yeah, I know. Just kind of off topic, the high school that I went to, they played IMG Academy, which is that high school, prep school, whatever you want to call it, down in Florida. And they just got their butts absolutely handed to them. But the coach said exactly what you said. They are not going to see a team half as good as IMG Academy for the rest of the year. So while, it was, not a great score or a way to start the season, I mean, just to get that experience and, you're gonna, like I said, you're not gonna play another team that's half as good as that. So that's awesome. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool though that they got to play UW Whitewater.
Yeah, so that was probably a good experience for them. So moving down the list, Robert Morris Peoria went up against Illinois Wesleyan's JV. It's another D3 team. So they went down 44-12. But Robert Morris is known for playing a pretty tough non-conference schedule every year before they get into their NCAA games. So Illinois Wesleyan, another good D3 program. So that's a good competition for them to kind of get the ball rolling on their year. Ohio State over Southern Illinois, their first game back into the league this year, 24-4. You don't see the score 4 very often. They did get 2 safeties to get their 4 points. But Ohio State went through a little bit of a coaching change right before the season, kind of a weird situation. Their head coach left, and they got somebody new there now, literally a week before the season started. So that's nice for them to get out there and get a W, 24-4 over Southern Illinois. Moving down farther down the list here, the other score that really kind of opened my eyes was the Oakland and Wright State game. So historically, Oakland and Wright State have been really good rivalry. They were in the same conference for a while, right when they were both in the Great Lakes East. Last year, Wright State got moved out to the Mid-Atlantic, but they were playing a non-conference game, and they have had some pretty good games, close games throughout the last 3-4 years. Oakland came out and put a 50-6 whooping on the Raiders in Week 1, which is a big statement game for Oakland. I think again they have another new coach this year. You're not really sure, how that's going to work, what they're going to be like. Are they going to be as good as they have in years past? And the thing I'm noticing about this is, Oakland's been known to have a great defense for as long as they've been in the NCAA. They always have one of the top defenses in the league. Well, now I can't remember the last time if they ever scored 50 points. So the new coach they hired is kind of an offensive mentality guy. So if they're lucky, they got the best of their both worlds here. They continue their same good defense. Maybe this new head coach is going to bring a high-powered offense. And that's going to be pretty scary for the other NCAA teams if Oakland's going to continually score a lot of points.
All right. Any other games of note?
No, that's where we're at for Week 1. So pretty exciting to get some nice scores, get some good games in Week 1.
Do you have any, Joe? You had a question?
Yeah, Mokes. Just looking through the Week 1 games, a lot of non-conference matchups, a lot of games with teams outside of the league. You see pretty much the same thing here coming into Week 2. 2 games I'm excited about this upcoming weekend are Michigan State and Oakland. For reasons like you said, Oakland's high-powered offense appears as so. And also Wright State and Pitt. Now, I remember last year, Pitt kind of came on as a surprising team that performed well, especially towards the end of the year. I just want to get your input on some of those games, maybe some other games to watch out for this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, for sure. The Michigan State-Oakland game is a big rivalry game. That'll be the opening conference game for both those two teams. It'll be interesting to see, maybe Wright State had a bad week and Oakland just took advantage of that, or maybe Oakland is really good this year. So that'll be a good test. But Michigan State, always a solid team across the board. So that's an exciting game. And like you said, Pittsburgh really kind of came on at the end of last year. They got their first win. They were competitive in some other games. So, if they just get one win and then they're back to not really scoring a lot of points and stopping people, one thing, but they got their win and then they were highly competitive in some losses towards the end of the year. So with Wright State's probably going to be not very happy about that 50-6 score. But if Pittsburgh is the real deal, they got a new coach. They have some new recruits in there, and they're excited about what they're doing this year. This could be a good game for them. It's a home game, opening conference game against Wright State, who did not have a great showing in Week 1. Another game to kind of keep your eye out for this week. It's usually a good matchup between two good teams. Miami, Ohio goes over to Robert Morris Peoria. So again, that's 2 teams that used to be in the same conference in Great Lakes. Miami last year went to that shuffle to Mid-Atlantic, with 2 solid programs that they always have good games. So that should be another good matchup this week.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like already we're starting some big games already out of the gates, only in Week 2. So yeah, make sure to keep your eyes out about that. Dave, pools. Where are we in the pools? They're being released. Is it? I'm assuming every week, correct?
Yeah, generally they will come out on Wednesdays, if I'm correct in what we've been doing in years past. So gives teams some time to put all their scores in and stuff on Mondays. The poll committee gets their votes in by the end of today usually, and then they come out Wednesday every week for the poll. So that should be our updated poll. We haven't had one since the preseason poll, so we'll get that first Week 1s in there and see how that shuffles out. The other thing that my shameless plug here is for all the teams that played in week 1, I'm only seeing stats for Oakland. So get in there, get on the league site, get your stats in, and that'll help for us to have more things to talk about on these shows. That'll help as we progress into the postseason awards and stuff, is having those stats in week by week. It makes it a lot easier than everybody scrambling at the end of the year to throw their stats in. So there's only one team with them now. If you played in week 1, contact your conference coordinator, figure out how to get your stats in.
Come on, guys. It's so easy. Get it done.
Look it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just an NCFA issue. That's across the board in CCS.
Sure.
But I always like to have the stat. I mean, when I played, seeing the stats, what I did, what my buddies did, having that recognition for yourself is nice.
And I agree. I think that can help out in game planning too. You see where your weaknesses are.
Yeah.
I don't know. It goes a long way. So
Get your
definitely
stats
encourage
up.
to get that out. Yeah.
All right, Dave, you got anything else you need to talk about?
I don't think so. It's just going to be a nice slate of games for week 2. So I'm excited to jump back on in a month and talk about what we had going on.
Awesome, Dave. Well, we appreciate all your work. And, we'll be sure to talk to you next month for the next installment of Gridiron Breakdown with Mogs. All right, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
Later, buddy.
Yeah, bye.
See you, Dave.
We are going to take a quick commercial break. And once we get back, we will talk about the NCBBA, which stands for National Club Basketball Association.
Fundraiser is the official fundraising platform of Cole Club Sports. Teams have the opportunity to create a free online campaign to begin accepting donations in hopes of reaching their fundraising goals. Please be sure to contact Cole Club Sports for more information on this amazing platform for all of your team's fundraising needs.
Welcome back. Joe Schaefer is no longer beside me. We got Zach Ramirez on set with us to talk NCBBA basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of stuff going on. I know the season hasn't officially started yet, but it's right around the corner, correct?
Right.
And so just give me, there's a lot of, I'm assuming a lot of important information that teams need to know about. But first out, let's just talk about league updates. Schedules, are those all out?
Yeah, so actually schedules are in the process of being made
Okay.
right now. We've got a few out. The New England region saw their schedules go out on September 7th.
Okay.
Shortly after, the North Atlantic region got theirs. And the Mid-Atlantic South Conference followed that. September 13th got their schedules. And these are all posted on the NCBBA website right now. We have the Great Lakes East looking to get their schedules out this upcoming week, actually. By the end of this week, maybe. South Atlantic region, probably going to get their schedules out tomorrow. So, a lot happening. So, if you haven't gotten your schedule yet, don't worry. We're getting there. We're working
so
on
you
it.
got, sounds like schedules are being rolled out just about every day. And, if you have a question about your schedule, obviously you can reach out to Zach or Sandy or your regional director, and they can point you in the right direction. Let's talk about new teams. It seems every year, I know we had a big, last couple of years, we've had a big, lot of growth in the NCBBA. Where are we as far as new teams this upcoming year?
Yeah, and that growth has definitely continued coming into this season. Just in the last month, we've added Chico State to the SOPAC North. Great addition there. We have added Florida State and Nova Southeastern, creating a new conference down in the South Atlantic area. The South Atlantic region now has 3 conferences, so we'll have the South there with, right now it's Georgia, Nova Southeastern, and Florida State. So that's something
Nice.
that's a pretty cool development. The Mid-Atlantic North added Rowan. They added a second team, actually, Rowan Gold. So we have Rowan Black and Rowan Gold over there now. The MAC South, we have Dickinson came in, and the Red Devils will round out the MAC South. So that's nice. And Mid-America West got the Missouri Tigers. So great
Mizzou.
out there. Yeah.
That is good at.
And the last team that we've added this month is the Virginia Cavaliers, actually.
Wow.
Over in the South Atlantic North. So they just came on, and we have a few teams actually going through the petition process right now.
Okay.
To hop on board for this season. So yeah, a lot going on the new
Yeah,
team.
so that's it seems like a lot of new teams coming on board, and that's awesome. And for those teams going through the petition process, I'm sure they're wanting to get on board, but the conference schedule's already out. Is that how it will work?
Exactly.
Gotcha. Now let's talk realignment. Is realignment completely done? Is there still some realignment that's kind of taking place depending on new teams joining? Where's that all shaking out?
Yeah, so actually right now the major parts of the realignment are for the most part done. We've had basically a lot of shifts, not a lot of teams as far as like splitting up conferences, just taking one conference and moving it to another region.
Okay.
So we've had the NAR, we have the NAR South, that was actually the old Mid-Atlantic North.
Okay.
So that shook up a little bit. The North Atlantic West is the old North Atlantic North.
Okay.
So we've got that going. We actually have a few others, minor shakeups. We had Cal State Northridge. They're actually moving down to the SOPAC West, I believe, from the north. So coming in there. But yeah, we have quite a few shakeups there. Again, developing a new conference in the South Atlantic region. The South Atlantic actually had the South Atlantic, the old South in the South Atlantic, moved to the South Atlantic Central. So that formed the 3-team conference there.
So, and I'm assuming all the teams, once there's a move, the teams are notified and things like that about that realignment. But if there's any teams that have any questions about that realignment or potential realignment, again, reach out to Zach or Sandy, and they can answer those questions you might have. Now, talk to me about Phenom Elite.
Yeah, so Phenom Elite, right now is a great time to inquire a little bit more information, maybe reach out to Nathan Dorton.
And they're official uniform.
Yeah,
correct?
they're the official uniform provider for the NCBBA, the NCFA, and they do gloves for the NCFA too,
Cool.
which are pretty sweet. You can customize those. But yeah, on the sponsor tab on the Cole Club Sports website, get a little more information. We work directly with Nathan Dorton, who's the guy over there, the CEO of Phenom. So yeah.
Any interest in uniforms? I know teams are always asking us. We got a great sponsor on Phenom Elite. They seem to be doing great things on the football side. So getting them on the basketball side, doing basketball uniforms, that's just an awesome sponsor get for us. So make sure you utilize those sponsors. Is there a discount or anything like that, or is it already discounted?
Yeah, so there's discounts kind of depending on the apparel. It varies on that. So yeah.
Okay. But they'll get a discounted price if they were.
Right, yeah.
Perfect.
Member teams definitely get the discount.
Do they get a patch or anything on the...
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Cool. Well, if you're interested in that, make sure to reach out. And who's handling that? Is that you handling?
Yeah, that's me.
Zach, reach out to Zach, and he will get you all set up. Any other thing NCBBA related that need to get across to the teams?
I think that's it right now. We're going to start getting the roster eligibility stuff ready to send out coming up. Season's right around the corner. Starts November 1st, so yeah, it's almost go time.
Good stuff, Zach. Well, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be back to talk about some marketing things and some NCBA things.
The Game is the official headwear sponsor of Cole Club Sports. They offer an early order discount to all of our leagues on top of their already low prices. Go to thegameheadwear.com and check out their wide selection of on-the-field hats, off-the-field boonies, beanies, and visors. Contact Felicia Battaglia at coleclubsports.com for all of your headwear needs.
All right, welcome back. It's time to chat some marketing. We're going to tackle some NCBA stuff, but to my left, is this your debut?
This is my debut.
This is Alec, the Marucci sponsor account manager. Welcome. This is your first time on here. You've been around for how long now? A month?
About a month, yeah.
Month and a half. Yep. So let's talk some Marucci. What's going on?
You can introduce yourself, or does everybody just know who you are?
8 years in, I hope they know who I am. But my name is Eric. I run our marketing department in our Division II league. For the record, but it's more about Alec at this time. So Marucci, what's going on? What's your teams be on the lookout for? What kind of benefits do they get? Just kind of touch base on that real quick.
Yeah, so with Marucci, all the baseball teams get 2 complimentary bats, which we have been getting the orders in for those. They've been getting shipped out. I'd say probably like 90% of teams have those in probably.
Yep,
we're almost finished with that. Teams also get some sweet deals on the Marucci website that they set up for us. All NCBA and NCSA members have access to that. It is passcode protected though because it's so discounted. So if you want to know that, you'll have to email me at alec.bierhoff@coldclubsports.com.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of the gist of it. The big news this year with us is we made the move to Marucci, and we do have these exclusive discounts for you guys to take advantage of. As Alec was saying, we do have a great store for you guys to use as a resource for anything from bats to batting gloves to any of the smaller equipment items that you may need. So definitely give that a look. It can't hurt. You can save some money and get some some high caliber products that you see around the MLB. I know a lot of guys are swinging Marucci nowadays. I believe they have the biggest share within the MLB. I think like around 40% of the league is using Marucci. So it's definitely a respectable product. So reach out to Alec and he'll get you some more information on that. So.
Definitely, yeah.
Thank you, guys. Let's transition to NCBA talk. I want to talk to you, Alec. Feel free to chime in. What kind of updates do we have NCBA-wise right now?
Well, realignment, I know that's more of a Division III thing, so maybe you could touch on that more than I can, but I know the website's getting updated as Garrett adds new teams. He's still adding some guys here and there for next year, so I know things are getting straightened out on the Division III level. Division I and Division II, we're all squared away. Schedules, for the most part, have been released. I think we're 95% done in Division II. You're probably somewhere close to that on Division I. So not a lot of movement between Division I and Division II. But, yeah, that's the big news, I guess, on the realignment is just more Division III. A lot of new teams are coming on board, and you'll be seeing those across social media as they become official.
Yeah, and other things to make sure of rosters. You guys need to get your rosters submitted. That's the biggest thing, especially for the teams that are playing NCBA sanctioned games in the fall. Division I's the North Atlantic Great Lakes, Mid-America North, and Mid-Atlantic West. If you're playing games in the fall, non-conference or conference, you need to have a finalized roster. And before those games take place, or you're risking forfeiting them. I know at the Division II level, that's the most of the teams in D2, are playing games in the fall. So, same thing with D3. Make sure you get your rosters taken care of before any NCBA sanctioned games. That's the big thing. But fundraisers, travel sponsors. I think people forget about a lot of those things.
Hats, get your
hats, uniforms, baseball, add-on baseballs, add-on bats, like Alec was talking about. There's a lot of things that you guys can utilize and get discounts on. Head over to the NCBA website. I don't think a lot of teams utilize the NCBA website other than checking scores and things like that. We have a lot of tabs, like the documents tab goes through a lot of, obviously, the documents like weekly team submission forms that you have to send in each week after you play. There's the academic eligibility letters there for download. The rules are there for download. There's also the announcements section that go through all the different sponsors like fundraisers, and, Motel 6, Avis, Rawlings sponsor, the Marucci sponsor. All these things are at your disposal, and especially with the season gearing up and already starting. Make sure you're understanding all those, documents and all the announcements. Another thing that leads me into this is the Guide to Collegiate Club Baseball. And it is what it It's titled. It's a guide to everything collegiate club baseball. We finally, I think, last year, kind of formatted it to a different presentation style, which is Prezi, which I think most college kids are probably familiar with. It's a new format on that. It's not an old Word document that you got to scroll through. It's really kind of interactive, the Prezi's presentation. So it's a great way for if you're a new team to figure out everything there is to know about club baseball. But if you're even an established club baseball team, a guy that's been around the club baseball world for a number of years, it's still good to check it out and get refreshers on different things. There's probably information you didn't know about in that guide. For new officers, it's going to be a great guide. Resource, that's the word I was looking for you to utilize. It has everything in there, top to bottom. It has Alex's contact information, my contact information, the different documents. It goes through how to boost interest in your team. I mean, it goes through the entire gamut of running a club baseball team. So make sure to check that out if you have the time. I highly encourage you checking it out. It's all updated. Again, I believe it's on the documents page.
Yep.
So make sure you read that. It's broken down by chapters if you just want to look at a certain chapter, or if you want to look at the entire guide. It's all there for at your disposal. So make sure you're utilizing the website. I mean, just spend an hour to kind of go through it and learn it if you haven't, because there's a lot of important information on there. The rule books, we did touch on that.
Yep.
Those have been released. They are out. All the teams were emailed them. 2 versions. One was a version that had all the highlighted changes that we put into play this upcoming season. Those are highlighted in yellow. And then the other version was just an unhighlighted version for you. But they were all emailed to you. They're also on the website for you to download. Make sure you're printing off a copy of that and taking with you to your game. Worst case, you can always just check it out on your phone. But I would certainly have a paper copy with you at all games. So those are out. Realignment, as Eric touched on, we are all pretty much done. D1, D2, maybe a couple minor moves here and there. D3 has some, I think, minor moves, just adding some new teams. As far as fall tournaments, we got 2 fall tournaments this weekend. We got the Battle Creek Blast up in Battle Creek, Michigan. And we also have the Butler County Classic down in Butler County, Pennsylvania.
Who you got attending?
Wait, what?
Who's attending?
Oh, who's attending? On the spot, Ohio University, Bloomsburg, Indiana, Slippery Rock, Central Connecticut State, Kent State, and I'm missing somebody.
Nice little mix, though. D1,
but yeah,
D2.
D1, D2. Slippery Rock was a playoff team last year. OU's usually pretty good on the D1 side of things, but some good D2 teams in there too. So hopefully the weather holds out. Have a good time up there, and I know the teams are excited about it. It's our second year doing it. We've got 2 great fields and really excited about it. So it should be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for updates after this weekend about that. And you guys got Battle Creek.
Yeah, this weekend, Illinois State D2, Xavier, Pitt, Central Michigan, Bowling Green, Ferris State, Grand Valley, Eastern Michigan, Indiana, Adrian College, who won D3 last year, their D2 team, Toledo, who won Battle Creek last year, and then Michigan. So we got a nice little mix of
mix too, as well.
D1, D2, and even a D3 team in there too. So
some big names there.
Yeah, should be a good weekend. Hopefully the rain holds off, and as Christian was saying, just tune in next month. We'll have in-depth, maybe we'll have a call around from the winter or something like that. We'll have more results, more stuff to talk about. So.
Absolutely, and then we'll also be, the Wood Wars tournament, which Ryan Norris puts on down in Euless, Texas. It's in its 10th year. We had him on last month to talk about it, but that I can't remember the date off the top of my head.
It's the middle of October.
October 19, 20. I want to say that's when it is. You'll be getting updates regarding that. That should be a lot of fun. We have the Greenville Fall Invitational down in Greenville, South Carolina. That's got to be its 6th or 7th year. November 2 through 4, I believe, is when that takes place. And Alec, he's running a fall tournament out west in Lancaster, California. What are we calling it? The Lancaster Fall Tournament?
Lancaster Fall Tournament. Yeah.
Original.
Nice.
Like
Very
it.
creative. Very creative.
Here. We had
Came up with it on my own.
I want one of those shirts.
Congrats,
good.
man. But that's all filled up. What do you know the teams off the top of your head?
I know we have Long Beach State, San Diego State, Arizona State. That's all I can come up with off the top of my head. But I'm pretty sure we have 5 D1 and 3 D2.
You got 8 already.
Yeah, we got 8
Nice.
filled up within
If we had
5
another
days.
field, we could. Yeah, that was quick. It
Yeah,
filled up
very quick.
We could get another field. We'd.
And what
I know
weekend
this-
is that?
That is October 19th through the 21st.
Yep.
Nice.
So stay
Congrats.
tuned for that as well. But last 2 years we were in Henderson. Unfortunately, field availability didn't allow us to go back. But Lancaster, which SOPAC and Pacific teams should be familiar with as the regional site for the D1 and D2 regionals, is where that fall tournament will be taking place. So again, just stay tuned. And if you're wondering, like, hey, how can I get involved with fall tournaments? Reach out to us. We're always sending out informations. I think everybody's pretty much booked up, but let us know if that's something that interests you guys. We touched on the guide. The last thing I think we need to talk about is spring training. Tracy's not here, but the registration is open for that. And I believe if you get your registration completed before November 15th, you're saving $75. So take advantage of that. People are always wondering how they can save money. $75 if you're going to spring training. Get your registration in by November 15th to save that. You've been to spring training. You have not. Have you been to spring training? So if you're one of the teams that goes every single year, get your registration in now. Get it done with and over with, so that you don't have to worry about it. If you're a team that's on the fence, go. It's an amazing experience. You're going to love it, and you're going to end up going back each and every single year. I believe Tracy has the retention rates of the teams that go every single year, and I know it's very, very high. So that's just testament to how great of an event it is. And you get to knock out, for teams that, D1, you have to have one.
D1, you need 3.
Or,
D2,
excuse
you
me,
need 1.
D2, you need 1 non-conference game. D3, you need those 3 non-conference games to be playoff eligible. So for teams up north, that struggle mightily to get non-conference games in, go down to Florida. You're going to play them. You're going to get your 3 in.
Yeah, I would say that's just probably the icing on the cake. The trip's definitely worthwhile. It's you get to play baseball, have a college spring break in Tampa, beach, MLB spring training games everywhere, and you get to know your new guys. You come back a better team. So highly recommend it. Even if you're on the fence, like Christian was saying, reach out to Tracy, ask questions. She's got sample budgets for you. She's got information you can use to help make your the process of making it feasible easier for you. So definitely reach out to her.
And I will say, I think she has numbers, but it's like you said, you come back a better team, and there's proof in the pudding where Penn State is a team that goes down. Penn State won the D1 national championship last year. I'm not just saying that's the reason they won it was because of spring training, but there is some correlation. And I know teams that go down there, a lot of those teams are participating in regionals and or national championship tournaments. So you definitely become a better team when you go down there. It's not just all fun and games. You definitely shake the rust off, and you come back for conference play a better team. So it's just has many, many, many positives and very little to maybe 0 negatives. So make sure that if you're interested, get your registration into Tracy. The Spring Training West, I do want to mention about that. That is going to happen. We are going to have a West Spring Training Showcase. Right now, it's going to be in Henderson, Nevada. It's just right now that their registration process for the fields, it's a little wonky. So we're trying to get that all figured out. But if you're a West team that is, keeps asking us, what's happening, when the dates, we are working on that. Try and getting those dates as soon as possible out to you so you can plan for it. But this will be our 3rd year, and we are growing each and every single year. So make sure to kind of put a mental note in your head, to block off. I know we got the schedules out in the NOPAC and the SOPAC, but make sure you're kind of making a mental note in your head to block off a week or 2 to participate in that event, because especially for the teams in the NOPAC where we had, you guys probably don't know this, but there was
conference.
there was 2 conferences where there were teams, no teams had coming down towards the stretch. There was no every team didn't have a non-conference game, and all of that would have been solved if they would have came down to a spring training showcase early in the season where it wasn't playable where their campus is. Go down north to Henderson and participate in that event, so you can knock those 3 non-conference games out, not have to worry about it, and then, like I said, go into your conference season a lot better team. So. Just stay patient with us, West teams. We will have that information out to you ASAP. But other than that, is there any other baseball things we need to?
Just touching on the East Coast again. Those weeks 2 and 3, I believe they are usually every year. Maybe as the spring breaks change, it might be week 1 and 2. They're the busiest weeks by far. They will fill up. There's only so much space out there, so get your stuff in early. You don't want to be left out just because you turn in your stuff late. So keep that in your back pocket as well.
Well, thank you guys. Good talk. You are. All right. Well, Eric will stick around, and we'll take a quick commercial break. Once we get back, we will close the show with some softball talk.
Rawlings is proud to be partnered with Call Club Sports. If your team is in need of any products that Rawlings has to offer, contact us today. Rawlings, the finest in the field.
The game is the official headwear sponsor of Cole Club Sports. They offer an early order discount to all of our leagues on top of their already low prices. Go to thegameheadwear.com and check out their wide selection of on-the-field hats, off-the-field beanies, and visors. Contact Felicia Battaglia at coleclubsports.com for all of your headwear needs.
Welcome back to Suite 301. We are going to be talking, we're going to be doing our softball segment here. Unfortunately, Savannah Aarons, who we're going to have on the show, the talk softball stuff was not available at the moment. So we, Eric and I, are going to do our best to get everything out to the softball teams that we can. I do know team previews, they are being released as we speak. I see those on the Facebook, softball Facebook page, group page. So those are being released. I don't know if there's more to come or if those are finalized, but they are being released. So if you want to check out team previews, it's an excellent opportunity to kind of scout your opponents, so to speak, right? I mean, you're getting to look at, new additions to the team, returning players, how they finished last year, to kind of gauge how you're going to shape up in the conference this year. So those are really a great opportunity for you to check out the other teams in your conference. They also are a great benefit for just like in baseball, the top 20 voting panel. It gives them an idea to how to shape the preseason top 20 pool for the softball, which I believe was released.
Correct.
I want to say
believe
it
so.
was.
I think it's once a month on the softball side of things. So, as you were saying, it's good to market yourself, to give yourself some publicity, kind of brag about yourselves, if you will.
Yeah.
To, talk about the season you had last year, talk about the new girls you got this year. Kind of just put your success in the eyes of the panel a little bit to get some
Yep.
votes.
Absolutely. Preseason ballot is usually out, and then they will be released monthly from here on out.
Rosters. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I think rosters all across the board, any of our leagues, is huge right now.
Of course.
I know she's got. I think me and her were talking yesterday. She's got about half the league playing this weekend. It looked like so. Rosters are huge
That's
for you
probably why
guys.
she's busy.
Probably processing rosters, but that's big for you girls to get your eligibility rosters in, get your girls registered online. You want to have an active roster, so you're not. Is there automatic forfeits in softball? I'm not even sure. But the team, your opponent can call you out regardless. So you definitely want to make sure your girls are eligible, so you're not, putting yourself in that position. So it's easy. Register online, get your academic eligibility letter reviewed by your school, and turn it into Savannah. And that's it. On that side.
And then the Indy Invitational, that
Couple weeks, I believe.
in a couple weeks in Elkhart, Indiana.
Yep.
So I don't know if that is filled or not,
I
but
believe it is.
there's information. All this, we apologize for not having the information at our fingertips. We were planning on having Savannah on, but if you have you have questions about the Indy Invitational, surely it is online at the NCSA website. So make sure to check out that, and I'm sure after that fall tournament concludes, we will have a recap of that. Maybe talk to the winner. So stay tuned for that. Other than that, no other softball topics to discuss, and that is going to be our show for the month.
Good stuff.
Another one in the books. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Suite 301. As always, don't forget to follow us on our Facebook and Twitter pages.
Next episode, Tuesday, October 16th. We'll see you right here at 301, right here on Facebook Live. Join us and we'll talk everything about the next coming month here.
Ooh, all right.
Hey, it's a game. Have fun.